Hello friends, this is the fifth episode in our JavaScript tutorial series, and today we are going to see arrays. If you see, this is the JavaScript playlist. In this playlist, almost all the videos are of 1 hour or more, except this one. Functions was covered in just 30 minutes. But I think part 5 that we are going to discuss today, which is arrays, it's a very big topic, and I have purposely kept array iterator methods out of today's lecture, but still this lecture is going to be longer than an hour. I have this gut feeling. Let us see how it goes. But of course, you will have index, which will have all the topics that we'll have covered in this video. And in the index, you'll see timestamp against every topic. So if you want to go to a specific topic, just click on the timestamp given in the index, which is given in this video's description. So let us start with arrays. How will you define an array? How will you create an array? There are two ways of creating arrays. One is directly giving square brackets, and inside the square brackets you can give various elements. That is the first and the easiest way of creating arrays. Another way and more object oriented kind of a way is by using new array, and into bracket you can give all the elements comma separated. So this is as if you're using array like a class. Okay, and that's why in object oriented programming everything is an object, right? So the template of an object is called as a class. So in object oriented programming, normally people love to use classes, and that's the reason why JavaScript also allows you to create arrays like this. But fundamentally, JavaScript does not have anything like class, and that's why I normally think that this is just syntactical sugar, or this is just to facilitate nowadays the programmers of the current age. But otherwise, in fact, if you ask me, this is a more natural way of creating arrays. Okay, now no matter how you create the arrays are created exactly the same. Here if you see, it is basically an array. This second one is also basically an array. Okay, now there are two important things that you should always know. One is this index operator, and another is length property of an array. So what index operator does is it can be used to get the values in an array. So if I say companies, car companies is one array having these three companies, then I can say that the second car company is car company, this square bracket, that means this index operator, and inside that I can give the index. Now notice this is the index. This is not actually the first element, second element, nothing like that. It is the element at index number 1, and indices as you know start from 0. So Maruti Suzuki is at 0 index, Tata Motors is as 1 index, and that's why when I say car companies of 1, it means Tata Motors. So here you will see Tata Motors. Now let us say that here I am getting the value using the index operator. Can I set a value? Of course I can set. I can just say car companies of 1 is equal to Hindustan Motors. And now if I console it out, then car companies of 1 will give me Hindustan Motors. Length operator. Now what is this length operator? A length operator gives the length of the array, that means the size of the array. Okay, so here how many elements are there in the array? 1, 2 and 3. Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors and Mahindra. So the length is 3. So we know total 3 car companies. Okay. An array can have elements of different data types. Now, people coming from Java background or .NET background means any static typed language, you will always feel that array can be either a numeric array or a Boolean array or any data type kind of an array, data type specific array. But in JavaScript, always remember that array is just an object. Okay, the data type of an array is always an object. So here if you here it even allows you to fill elements of different data types in the same array. So here person, it has John, Doe, these are strings. then this is his age, maybe, I think so. So this is his numeric element, then this is a boolean element, then this is another array within an array. Everything is possible in an array, because array is basically just an object. And just like an object can have properties of various data types, an array can also have elements of different data types. Okay. If you console out person, then you'll get this kind of an array. And if you say type of person, you will get object. Type of person of 0, you will get string. Person of 1 is string. Person of 2 is a number. Person of 3 is a boolean, and person of 4 is again an array, but data type of an array is an object, and that's why you get an object over here. Now, a data type of an array is always an object. We saw it in the earlier example also, but I've given a dedicated slide just for this. See, even if you create a string array or a boolean array or a numeric array or a two-dimensional numeric array or a mixed array, means array having multiple data types, in spite of the means irrespective of the way in which you create the array, or irrespective of the data types of the elements in the array, the data type of the array as a whole is always an object. So see here, object, object, object. It will always give object. Okay. Every array is derived from array, which in turn is derived from object. Actually, here derived from word is not right. Every array is basically of data type object. That is what it should be. But I've given it in this way. See, if you console out an array, let us say having two strings, John and Joe, then it is of type array. Okay, and array in turn is of type object. Okay, then what are two-dimensional arrays, three-dimensional arrays, and there can be any number of dimensions of arrays. Means there can be 8-dimension array also, there can be 15-dimension array also. Okay, so in a one-dimensional array, let us say these are cars. Actually, it should be car companies, Tata, Mahindra and Maruti. Here if I say cars of 2, it means Maruti, and I can change the value also just by saying cars of 2 equal to Maruti Suzuki. It should be Maruti Suzuki, right? So consoling out, so the values get set, or getter and setter are given here. So this is the getter, this is the setter. Okay, so this is how you access the elements of a single dimensional array. That means a one-dimensional array. What is a two-dimensional array? Array within an array is called as a two-dimensional array. That means what? No, it would be wrong. Array which contains another array is called as a two-dimensional array. Okay, so like flats in a building. So every building has various floors. Let us say it's a 3-floored building, and every floor has 8 flats. So 101, 102 till 108 are the flats on the first floor. Similarly, 201 to 208 are the flats on the second floor, and similarly the third floor. Okay, so this is a two-dimensional array. How to get or set the elements in a two-dimensional array? Using this, if you want on the second floor, if you want the 5th flat, then it should be 2 minus 1, because index is always position minus 1, right? So second floor means it is the index should be 2 minus 1 is 1, and then next one is a 5th flat, so 5 minus 1, that means 4, index 4. At index 4 you should be able to see. So if you console it out, you will see on the second floor the 5th flat is 205, correct? 205 it should be. And of course you can change the element. So I can make some flat as a storeroom. Okay, and then if you console it out with the same indices, then you will see storeroom over here. And that's also the reason why I told you that any data type can be assigned to any element in an array. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, similarly, how will you access a three-dimensional array? You will access it like this: first index, second index, third index. Okay, now let us say it is a 50-dimensional array, so you will keep on giving index 1, index 2, index 3 till index 50. Okay, you will keep doing this. So this is how you use multidimensional arrays. What is flattening an array? It means reducing the dimension of an array. So if you flatten a 50 dimensional array, it will become a 49 dimensional array. If you flatten 49 dimensional array, it will become a 48 dimensional array. Okay. So let us see that with an example. Here I am saying this is a 3-dimensional array because it has A building, B building and C building. And within the building there are floors, and within every floor there is one flat. Okay. So if I say this array dot flat, then it's a 3D array, it gets converted to a 2D array. How will it get converted to a 2D array? Okay, will the data be lost? No, data won't be lost. So what will happen is it will it will just concatenate all the floors one after the other. So see, this 3D array has all the flats in the society. That means 3 buildings, right? Every building has different floors. When I say that array dot flat, then if you will get all the floors in all the buildings. Okay, so building concept will go away, you will get all the floors. Now if you flatten that as well, then you'll get a 1-dimensional array. That means you'll get just the flats, all the flats, irrespective of the floor and irrespective of the building, you'll just get the flats. So as you can see, you get all the flats from A101 till C304. You'll get just all of them in one array. So this is a single dimensional array. Why? Because you first flattened a 3D array, it became a 2D array. Then you flattened 2D array also, so it became a 1-dimensional array. Now what if I flatten a 1-dimensional array also? What will happen? Nothing will happen. You will get exactly the same array back because there is nothing else to be flattened over here. Okay, so you will get exactly the same array back. Now let us say that one of the elements of this flattened array is another array. Then you can once again use a flat method, and then those elements will also get bifurcated and you will get a single array. Got the idea? So this is how flat method works. And finally, the original array remains the same. So flat method only returns a new array. It does not actually flatten the original array. It derives a new array from the array which is passed from the array on which this method is called. Okay. Then sorting a string array alphabetically. Now see, sorting of arrays is also a huge, you can say it's not a problem, but it can be a great interview question. See, how will you reverse sort an array? So it can be done using array.reverse. So if suppose these are the fruits, okay, now if I say fruits.reverse, then what happens is I get the fruits in the reverse order. Okay, so kiwi was the last fruit, now kiwi is the first fruit. But always remember that this array.reverse actually reverses the original array as well. So here it has returned a new array. Okay, you saved it in another variable, so you must be thinking that say this fruits did not get changed, but no, it does get changed. So original array is also changed using array.reverse. Okay, then sorting in reverse order can be done in a better way using array.toReversed, because it does not change the original array, it just gives you the new array, but it keeps the original array intact. And if you want this kind of a functionality, then you should use array.toReversed. It came with ECMAScript 2023, which is very latest version of ECMAScript. Okay, after this also ECMAScript version came, ECMAScript 2024, but at the moment, it is still very latest. So it's a very nice thing. And see, they always take care of grammar, so it is to-reversed. Okay, again, how to sort it alphabetically. So when you say fruits.sort, then it becomes it gets sorted alphabetically and the original array gets changed. If you don't want to change the original array, then you will use the 2023 method, which is toSorted. Okay, got the idea? This is how it is to be done. Now sorting in alphabetically reverse order. So how will you do this? This is an interview question. This can be a very nice interview question. So the way to do it is, you first use array dot sort. Okay, so it will be alphabetically sorted, and then you say array dot reverse. So reverse does not mean that sort it alphabetically in a reverse order. No, reverse only means that whatever is the array, make the last element the first element, makes the first element last element, and so on and so forth. So just reverse it. So first you have to sort it alphabetically, and then you have to reverse it. So you can cascade the methods like this, you know this, right? So first this method is getting called, then whatever is the result, on top of that result this method is getting called. Okay, so you can cascade all the methods together like this. Now, actually it is wrong to say that you can cascade the methods together. Correct grammar would be, you can cascade the methods on top of each other. Get the idea? Because whatever is the result, on top of that this method is getting called. Okay, so cascading the methods on top of each other would be correct grammar. Alphabetically reverse order can also be achieved using two sorted and two reversed. Here the only difference is that the original array does not change. In the earlier case, the original array got changed, but here the original array remained the same. Then sorting of a numeric array. Okay, so when you say this is my numeric array, and if you want to sort it using dot sort, then it will be sorted alphabetically. So it will say that 1, after that comes 2. So this is smaller than 1 and 5, because 5 is bigger than 2. Means bigger means alphabetically it is farther away. So before 5, 2 comes, right? So 125 is smaller and smaller than 15, because you're sorting it alphabetically, because sort method sorts it alphabetically. So if you have a numeric array, then don't use sort method for sorting it, otherwise you'll get a wrong result, because you want to sort it numerically. Okay, so if you want to sort a numeric array numerically in the ascending order, then the best way to do it is use a compare function. This function is called as a compare function. Now, I already told you what are arrow functions. That's the reason why I took the lecture of arrow functions earlier, because it is being used now also in arrays lecture also I'll require that. So compare function basically just takes two arguments, and it says that return a minus b. You know that in arrow functions you don't require to write a return keyword. You don't require to write the return keyword, and that's why this what it will do is, it will take a and b as, let us say, the first number and the second number, and then it will say return something. Return is what? 69 minus 56, so it will be a positive number. So whenever it returns a positive number, it thinks that this first number was greater than the second number, so it pushes the first number towards the end. Then it will again compare the other two numbers, and again it will do the same, and it will keep on doing this till it reaches the end of the array. And this way the array will be sorted in an ascending order. Even if you don't remember all this, just remember it, that create a compare function and just return a minus b. That is sufficient. It will sort it in the numeric ascending order. Okay, original array is also changed. Why? Because you used sort method only. If you use two sorted, then original array won't be changed. Okay, now how to sort in the descending order? So to sort in the descending order, just say b minus a. Okay, instead of saying a minus b, just say b minus a. So it will be sorted in a descending numeric order. My bad, this there is a mistake over here. It should be descending. Okay, then let's go next. How to sort in a random order? Again, see, descending order also, once again, if you use two sorted, then you will get two sorted would keep the original array intact. Okay, now How will you sort in a random order? Let us say that I just want to shuffle the numbers. Okay, I just want to shuffle this array into a random order. So how will you do that? So use your logic here. Once again, if you say sort, and here if this function doesn't take anything, compare function doesn't take anything, but it returns 0.5 minus mat.random. Mat.random is going to generate any number between 0 and 1. Okay, so it can be lesser than zero point 0.5, or it can be greater than 0.5, or it can even be equal to 0.5. So if it gives equal, then this compare function is going to return 0, which means both the numbers are equal. And if it gives a positive number, that means it feels that the first number is bigger than the second, and if it gives a negative number, then it means that the second number is bigger than the first number. Okay, so this is how you can use your logic to do this. This is a very nice interview question. Okay, again, I'm using sort, and that's why the original array is going to change. Okay, if you don't want the original array to change, obviously use to sorted. Okay, simple. Now, numeric array, get the minimum number. Let us say that this is my numeric array, and I want the minimum number in this array. So which is the minimum number? Just by seeing it, I can guess that it is 15, right? Now how will you do that? So the way to do it is, you can say mat.mean.apply. If you don't use this apply, then it doesn't give the right result. For the time being, just remember that you have to say mat.min dot apply, and here you should give null and the array. So just remember it for the moment. Why we are using null, maybe I don't think I'll be creating a video also on this, but at least you should know this. At least you should know this much, because it can be asked sometimes in an interview question, or even if you're programming, then sometimes you require this. So just remember it. At the moment, I'll say mug it up. Okay, mug it up at the moment. Original array remains unchanged. See, here we are able to keep the original array unchanged. Okay. Now, how to get the maximum number? Instead of min, use max. That's it. Then original array also remains the same again. Okay. Then how will you sort an object array? Let's say that your array is an array of objects, and you want to sort them as per the establishment here. And here purposely I've taken an example where two companies, Tata Motors and Mahindra, both of them were started in 1945. So it's the same year. Okay, so then how will it be sorted? So always whenever you sort it, Tata Motors has come first, right? In the original array it is at number 1, so it stays at number 1. Okay, so how will you sort it? You will just use the compare function. Here A and B are basically the objects. Now you will say A dot establishment year minus B dot establishment year. So it will basically sort the arrays based on the establishment year, and that too in the ascending order, because I'm saying A dot establishment year minus B dot establishment year. Okay, and original array changes because I'm using sort method. If I use to sorted method, then the original array will remain unchanged. Okay, then I've just said that. Now adding or removing elements. See, again, I did not give you the whole example. Means another example also to sort it in the descending order. What will you do? It will be B dot establishment year minus A dot establishment year. Obviously, okay. So I did not give you that example, but you get the idea, right? Now adding or removing elements from an array from the beginning or from the end. This is important, from the beginning or from the end. So these four methods are used to add or remove the elements either at the beginning or at the end. For adding or removing them from middle, from any location, you will use other function called as splice or slice. You will use one of these two functions, but these four functions are used to add or remove the elements at the beginning or end of the array. Okay. So array dot unshift basically adds an element to an array at the beginning. Always remember, suppose this fruits, I'm saying fruits dot unshift kiwi, Finally the original array gets changed, and the original array's length also gets changed. Okay, and that key we got added at the beginning. So what it did is, always remember these lines, wherever I give a comment, the comments are extremely important. So remember this comment. What it says is, it adds an element to the array at the beginning. Okay, then also it returns the new length of the array. So here, what is the return type of return value of this function? It is basically the length of the new array. Okay, and then it unshifts the indices of all the other elements. Means it adds the index uh, of each element by 1. Okay, so the index of mango becomes from 0 to 1. Index of apple becomes from 1 to 2. Index of banana becomes from 2 to 3. Got it? So this is called as unshifting. Unshifting of the indices. Unshifting means moving them, pushing them ahead. That is called as unshifting. Okay, what is shift? Shift is the reverse of it. So it removes the first element from the array. So it will remove mango. So the resultant array will be only apple and mango. It won't have apple and banana. It won't have mango, because mango you have shifted it. That means you have moved it out. Okay, so when you moved it out, it shifts all the other elements to a lower index. So this is called as shifting. Okay, unshift means escalate the index. Shift means reduce the index. Okay, and then it returns the value that is shifted out. So you've shifted this out of the array, right? So this value is the return type of this function. Again, the original array is changed. Okay, now what is push? Push will add an element to the array at the end. So if I push kiwi into this array, so the array becomes something like this: mango, apple, banana, kiwi. Again, the length changes, the original array changes. So what it does is, it adds an element to the array at the end. It returns the new length of the array. So here also it is returning the length of the length of the new array, or the new length of that array. Okay, and shifting the indices of all the other elements is not required, because the element is getting added at the beginning. So everybody's index does not need to be changed. That's why shifting or unshifting of the indices is not done here. Then it increases the length of the array by 1. Obviously, it's adding an element to the array, so its length will get increased by 1. Similarly, pop removes the last element of the array. So when you say pop, it will return banana. Okay, so it removes the last element of the array, shifts the indices. The shifting of the indices is not required, because what operation you are performing, it is at the end of the array. So every other element is before it, so it's in their indices don't need to be changed. It reduces the length of the array by 1, obviously. Also, it returns the value that is popped out. Okay, so it returns banana. So the new array will look something like this. The original array does get changed. Okay, and this is how it is. The length of the array also gets changed. Now, what is splice and what is slice? So I told you earlier that these 4 methods, shift, unshift, push and pop, they are used to perform operations at the beginning or at the end of the array. Splice, on the other hand, is used to perform operations in between the array, and same is the case with slice. What is the difference between the two? I'll let you know. Splice is more comprehensive, and you can do anything with splice, but slice also does the same thing, but only a few things. It does not do all of those things, but it does only a few of those things that splice can do. So my recommendation would be, remember to understand and practice splice, and try to use splice all the time. Slice is just a subset of the splice. It doesn't make much sense. Okay, so splice, you can remember that splice has an extra piece, so it does more amount of work as compared to slice. Okay, so always try to use splice. So understand splice. Splice's syntax is like this. It takes start index, end index, and comma separated array. End index is an optional field, and that's why I've added a question mark over here. It may or may not be given, so that's why a question mark. There's a question mark. Whether it is given or not, I don't know. Similarly, the third argument is also optional. It may or may not be given. What will happen? Suppose this is an array. If I say fruits dot splice 1, 2, and I give a few elements comma separated, so it is a comma separated. You can give comma separated arrays, you can give comma separated elements, anything will work. Don't worry about it. At the moment, we'll say that comma separated instead of array. See, you understand, even if I give an array, then also it will work. Even if I give an element, then also it will work. So what will happen here is, it removes the elements starting from index 1 and ending at index and including index 2. Okay, so mango has index 0, apple has 1, banana has 2, and kiwi has 3, right? So I say that start index is 1, that means start from index 1 means start from apple, end at index 2, which is banana, and include banana. Okay, so for apple and banana, okay, these two things, you remove these two people. Okay, so starting from index 1, ending at index 2, and including index 2, remove these two people. Okay, and then you add these people to the array. Okay, add avocado, lychee, and orange. You add these three people. Okay, so it adds avocado, lychee, and orange. Okay, where to add them? You have to add them at index 1. Why? Because that was the start index. Okay, so the target for adding new things to the array is again the start index. Okay, so this is what it is. And this fruits dot splice will return the elements that you have removed from that array. Okay, so you have removed only apple and banana, so apple and banana will be returned. Original array gets changed. That's the main thing. Original array does get changed. The new array dot length new array length is 5 now, because we have removed 2 people from a 4 element array, and we have added 3 people, so 2 and 3, yeah, 5, correct. Now, what if I don't give the third argument? And then what will happen? So if you don't give the third argument, new things won't get added to the array, but the older things will get removed as usual. So apple and banana will get removed, but nothing new is getting added. So the new array will become like mango and kiwi. Okay, and the new array's length would be 2. Actually, when I say new array, actually it's the same array. It's not even returning you a new array. It modifies the original array. So the new length of the original array is 2. Again, if I don't give the second argument as well, then what will happen? It will remove all the elements starting from whichever is the index given here, which is a start index, it is 1. So it will remove everything starting from apple till the end. So the final the original array will now be mango alone. And of course, fruits dot splice will be returning me an array of all the elements that it removed. So it removed apple, banana, as well as kiwi, and that's why it's giving all of them into the return value of dot splice method. Okay, and it returns it in the form of an array. Okay, then now if you do two spliced, as the name suggests, it came with ECMAScript 2023. So if you do this, you will get the original array remains the same. Rest of the thing is exactly the same. Okay, it returns a new array. For returning the new array, it does the same 2 operations. It removes the element starting from the index 1 and ending at and including index 2, and it adds whatever new elements you have added over here, it adds them to the array. Okay, and then that becomes your new array. The original array remains the same. Now again, two spliced can also be used without the third argument. You will get similar result, and two spliced can also be used without the second and third argument. You will get the same results that you got in splice method, except that in two spliced the original array remains um, unchanged. I um, typo again. I'm so sorry. Yeah, in all of them is remains unchanged should be there. Remains unchanged. Okay, as you can see also in the console out, you can see that it remains unchanged. So I just did not modify the uh, English over here, but otherwise everything is correct. The console outs I have always tried, and I always try and test it in the console so that I don't make any mistakes there. Now starting with slice. So slice, as I said earlier, don't use it because what slice does is exactly the same as splice does. It also accepts a start index, end index, but it does not accept the other elements that are to be added. And so it can only remove things from an array. It does not add new things to the array. Rest everything is the same. And it is like two spliced, so it basically uh, keeps the original array unchanged. That's the only thing. So that's how it is. Again, you can use it without the second argument because it is optional. Okay. Now another method is copy within. What does copy within do? Copy within means you copy a few elements and paste it within the same element, same array. Okay, so you're not you are not giving a new array. You're just saying that you know destination index, start index, end index. So this is the start index, the second argument is the start index. So start from index 2. Which one is index 2? Index 2 is banana. Okay, so start from banana and end at index 4. Index 4 is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 is grapes, but here don't include the last index. So from banana, kiwi, grapes, don't include grapes. So it's only banana and kiwi. Okay, so from start index to the end index, excluding the end index, whatever you get, that means banana and kiwi, you copy them. Okay, you have copied. Okay, you have kept it in your clipboard. Now you save it. Okay, and then you paste it. Where do you paste it? You paste it in the same array at destination index. So you paste it at index number 1. So what is index number 1? It is apple. So you will replace apple by banana, and again banana by kiwi. Okay, so banana and kiwi came here. That's it. That's all that you need to do. So you replace the elements by pasting them. So you override them in a way. That is all okay. But you had copied only two elements, so only two of them got replaced by the copied elements. Rest of the elements stayed the same. So here kiwi stayed the same. So kiwi came twice here. Got the idea? This is what it basically does, and it the original array is also changed. Copy within can be used without the end index. When you don't give the end index, then it copies all the elements till the end of the array. Okay, so here for example I've said paste it at index number 1, but start copying from index number 2. So it will start copy from 0, 1, 2. So 2 means banana. So from banana till the end, from banana till pineapple, it will keep on copying everything. It'll copy everything. It'll keep it with it in its clipboard, let us say, and then it will paste. Where will it paste? It will paste at index number 1, that means at apple. So it will keep on overriding everything, but its copied thing basically ends at guava index only. Okay, so till here he has it has pasted and replaced all the existing elements, but then pineapple stayed intact, and that's why the final output is basically an array having mango, and instead of apple it will have banana, kiwi, grapes, orange and all, but it ended over here. After that this pineapple stayed intact, so you have two pineapples in your fruit basket here. Got the idea? And of course the original array is also changed. Now, what if you give a negative destination index? So when I say that the destination index is -3, what it means is you copy various things, and while pasting it, you paste it at index 3 from the end. Okay, means apple is at -1 index, guava is at -2 index, lychee is at -3 index. So you start pasting from here. What will you paste? You will paste banana till pineapple, everything. Okay, because I haven't given end index, so it will copy everything. Huh? But while pasting it, it has only 3 slots to override. It has lychee, guava, and pineapple to override. After that, the array ends. So always remember the length of the array remains the same. Okay, so it will paste banana here, kiwi here, and I think grapes here. But rest of the fruits won't get pasted because the array has ended over here. Okay, so whenever you use copy within method, the length of the array never gets changed, and that's why I've highlighted it in bold letters in all the 3 slides, in this slide, as well as on this slide. Everywhere I've mentioned this in bold letters, that your array length remains the same. Now, what is concat method? Concat method means you can say array.concat, and here you can give another array. So what it will do is it will concatenate both these arrays, fruit1 and fruit2, and it will create a bigger array. Okay, so what this will console out is a bigger array containing all these fruits. Okay, now if you console out the first array, then it stays the same. That means the original arrays are never changed using .concat method. It gives you a new array by concatenating both these arrays. Okay, now instead of giving an array over here, I can give a comma separated list of arrays. Okay, I can give multiple arrays over here, so all of them will get concatenated, and you will get a bigger array out of this .concat method, but the original array stays the same. Instead of comma separated list of arrays, you can also give comma separated list of arrays or elements. So here I have given fruit2, it's an array, grapes is just an element, orange is just an element, again fruit3 is an array, again pineapple is just an element. So what it will do is it will keep on concatenating them in this order only. So fruits2 means banana and kiwi gets concatenated first, then grapes and orange, then lychee and guava will come, and then pineapple will come. Okay, so this is how it will be done. By the way, grapes is wrong grammatically, it should be grape, because whenever you refer to fruit, it should be in singular terms. You should use it, you should say apple, not apples. So here it should be grape. It's okay. Now array method toString, what does it do? This is also very interesting. It converts an array to a string of comma separated array values, which means suppose this is an array. Of course this array has strings, numbers, booleans, objects also, by the way, function, everything. Okay, now if I console log array.toString, then it will just give all these elements separated by a comma. Now you might ask, how will it show this object? So it will show the object like this. Okay, how will it show this function? It will give the entire definition of the function. How will it show this array? So again, this array also gets flattened, you can say, into a string. So here again, this also gets bifurcated into these strings. So you just write toString once, and it gives you the entire thing in a string format, except for objects. Objects cannot get stringified, that easily. You will have to use the JSON methods to do that, JSON.stringify. You cannot do that immediately for an object. But other than object, all the other elements are very well stringified, you can say. Even the arrays within that array also get stringified in a very nice way. Now remember that if you don't give they are always separated by a comma. You don't you haven't specified what should be the separator, right? So the default separator is comma. Now If you want to use a different separator, then you cannot use toString method. Even if you give a separator here, then also it will always separate using comma. This is the way toString works. But if you want to give a dedicated, a different separator, then you should be using dot join method. So what dot join will do is, it will take a separator. Okay, it's an optional thing. If you give it, it will take that separator. But if you don't give it, so if it is undefined, then it will separate using strings. Sorry, it will separate using comma. So here I have used join without a separator. So it is giving me the same effect as dot toString method. So it is just separating using comma. But if I give a separator, let's just say I say space and space, so that should be the separator. So now see, it is separating using dot space, dot and sorry, space and space. Got the idea? So whatever separator, it doesn't require to be a single character. You can have an entire string as the separator, and it will separate things accordingly. So we come to the end of arrays. Array iterator methods I have purposely not covered. Array iterator methods means every, has, that kind of methods. Let us see those array iterator methods. So I also study from W3 schools only. So array iterator methods, you will find over here. You will go to array iteration, and these are the methods. So here, array dot every, sum, from, keys, all these things I have not covered, because along with them I would also have to cover dot map, dot filter, dot reduce, and I want to cover these methods after covering the topic of loops, because I want to emphasize on this thing that you don't require to use all these methods of an array. These are just easier ways of doing the same things which you can achieve using loops. So you can just use a for loop and you can achieve exactly the same thing that you can achieve using dot map, flat map, dot filter, dot reduce. You can do all those things by general for loop also. Okay, and that's why I'll cover all these methods after loops are covered. So see you next time. The next time's lecture is going to be on loops. Until next time, Jai Shri Ram.
This is Amit Shirasao, and you're watching Coding.